who is a great supporter of African Multilateral Financial Institution, the great supporter of the markets, to make his statement. Thank you very much. Is it yours?
No, that's yours. Excellencies, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I was informed this morning that the drizzle that you see outside is because I carried some of it from Nairobi. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here this morning on this very important ceremony as we celebrate what we can do together. And that's why I'm honored to join fellow African policymakers, esteemed investors, industry leaders, and development partners for this symbolic bell-ringing ceremony at the London Stock Exchange. I've had the privilege to do this in the New York Stock Exchange and, of course, Nairobi Stock Exchange. I am looking for the next episode somewhere else. For decades, the UK has been a steadfast partner in Kenya's and Africa's development journey, supporting institutional reforms, infrastructure, and market development that continue to shape a much more prosperous and resilient future for our continent. This forum reminds us of the critical role that capital markets play as catalysts for sustainable economic growth and expanded shared prosperity across our region, our countries, and the entire continent. They serve as an efficient mechanism for mobilizing domestic savings, attracting international capital, and channeling resources into long-term investments in infrastructure, innovation, and industrial transformation. Across Africa, we are witnessing the growing potential of equity and debt markets as platforms for financing national development priorities. And I remember making the statement day before yesterday in Spain that sovereign debt is actually an instrument of development. It is not a trap, as is currently being configured. Well-functioning domestic capital markets enhance economic resilience by cushioning against exposure to volatile capital flows. They reduce dependence on external debts, foster transparency and governance, and diversify investment opportunities for both individuals and institutional investors. Kenya is committed to the development of its capital markets, particularly through strengthening the Nairobi Securities Exchange. This commitment is underpinned by strategic reforms and refreshed market-focused strategy under the leadership of the new Nairobi Stock Exchange team. Supported by fiscal consolidation, effective debt management, and a strong currency, these reforms helped the Nairobi Securities Exchange emerge as Africa's top performer in dollar returns last year. This was a study that was undertaken by Morgan Stanley Capital International. As government, we have equally made a strategic decision to broaden Kenya's stock market appeal to both local and international investors by earmarking key state assets for privatization through initial public offerings at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. We are committed to a structured, time-sensitive program that identifies and reduces and prepares a robust pipeline of key government assets to be privatized through the stock exchange or improved through private sector participation. As part of this initiative, we plan to list the Kenya Pipeline Company through an IPO in 2025, offering investors a unique opportunity to deploy capital in one of Kenya's most strategic infrastructure enterprise. I am pleased to note that across Africa, governments and regulators are pursuing similar initiatives aimed at deepening market participation, expanding product offerings, and unlocking the value of strategic public assets through listings and private sector partnerships. Ladies and gentlemen, the UK remains a steadfast and strategic partner in advancing Africa's capital market. Beyond the London Stock Exchange roles as a global financial hub, the UK government, through the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, has been instrumental in driving capital market development in the continent. Programs such as Mobilist, in partnership with exchanges like the Nairobi Securities Exchange and the Nigeria Stock Exchange, are helping democratize access to investment and promote financial inclusion. By leveraging listed equity and debt instruments, including green, gender, and climate bonds, these initiatives are unlocking capital for impactful and sustainable projects, while improving transparency, investor confidence, and long-term returns. This approach aligns with Africa's broader ambition to deepen financial ecosystems by increasing financial literacy, expanding access to capital markets, particularly for small and women-oriented businesses, and advancing sustainable finance as a key driver of inclusive economic growth. Similarly, FSD Africa, a specialist development agency funded by the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, continues to play a catalytic role in strengthening financial markets across the continent. Through policy support, technical assistance, and innovation, FSD Africa has helped unlock new asset classes, drive regulatory reforms, and integrate climate finance, gender lens investing, and digital financial solutions into African capital markets. These partnerships reflect a shared commitment to mobilizing productive capital that responds to the continent's development priorities, from infrastructure and SMEs to green energy and climate resilience. As Africa looks to scale up capital markets and align them with the continent's vast potential, continued collaboration with nations across the world through government and market channels is vital. Let us build on this foundation to deepen connectivity, share expertise, and create capital markets that are innovative, inclusive, and globally competitive. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud that this morning to share this platform with Africa Finance Corporation, who yesterday I confirmed to them that the government of Kenya has now signed off a host country agreement, and they will be joining our list of premier corporations in Kenya, alongside Global Health, Bupa Global Health, again, who yesterday we signed on board to come and open their office in Nairobi. And later this morning, we will be signing off with Lloyd's of London, a premier insurance company, the oldest, I'm told, again, to join the list of companies coming to Nairobi as a financial hub. This tells you the story of Kenya being ready, prepared, willing, available to do business. And I am here to demonstrate to you that the government of Kenya, at the policy-making level, is aligned in working with you to make sure that we unlock the huge potential that exists in capital markets. It's not just government of Kenya, even the financial district of Nairobi, the governor of Nairobi is here to demonstrate that the leadership of the city itself is also aligned in making sure that we tap into this great resource that can be used to drive development and create inclusive prosperity. And to just confirm to you that we will be having a conversation later, and I want to thank my brother, Professor Orama, for his leadership and belief in the African continent. It is that belief that helps us create networks and work with others across the globe. And I am to confirm that we will be looking at opportunities of cross-listing some of the assets that we are doing in Nairobi Securities Exchange, so that we can see how we can improve liquidity by cross-listing with London Stock Exchange. So thank you very much. Welcome to Nairobi and welcome to Kenya.
We're nearly there. So with our heritage of over 300 years, we have a few traditions around these parts, a bit of protocol. So I'd like to present the President with a memento of today's event, and also we have our register.